the boundaries that you set allow for some of the high density stress to come in. And when it becomes,
or the boundaries you didn't set.
Hello. Because chronic stress is really where that burnout, like chronic stress and burnout are best friends. It's not about, I can't be stressed, because stress is actually very good for you.
Yeah.
Because it refines your skills, it refines your ability. You get stronger by managing it better. But chronic stress is where your body starts to say like, hey, I got about 6 to 10 months before I start breaking down on you. Oh, you gonna ignore me? Bet. We're going to the hospital now. Bet.
Hey y'all, hey, welcome back to Mompreneur Unmuted, breaking modes and building legacies. I'm Alicia L. Jenkins, and this is the space where we share real stories, real lessons, and real conversations for everyday people trying to navigate motherhood, marriage, business, healing, faith, and purpose. Now, if you're enjoying the show, don't forget to follow, subscribe, and share it with somebody who might need it too. Now, let's get into today's conversation. Today's guest is one of my closest friends. We've been friends for almost 20 years, bro. 20 years is crazy. I'm not even gonna lie.
Like we're 14, so how we been friends for 20
seriously.
years? Like.
Crazy. But that's really saying something though, because we live in different states.
Yeah.
Okay. We have different careers, different life experiences, different motherhood journeys. But we always find our way back to each other.
Always. And always will.
Now, Michelle is a Detroit girl living in Minnesota.
Yes, ma'am.
She's a mom of 3 boys, Titus, Titan, and Tobias, my babies. And 2 of her sons are on the autism spectrum. She's been married to my bro for now 10 years.
11.
Oh, geez, we're getting old. Okay.
Older.
She's in social work. She's an entrepreneur and a director at a major university. And she's one of those women who somehow manages to carry so much while still showing up for everybody else. Yeah. And honestly, that's exactly why I wanted her on this couch with me today. Because I think a lot of women are carrying more than so many people realize.
Yeah.
But before we get deep, I want to tell y'all something funny.
Oh, God. Oh, no. Okay, all right, I'm ready. I got to brace myself.
So back in our Aztec dance days, Michelle was our unofficial light-skinned Michael Jackson.
Got a light-skinned friend like Michael Jackson. Absolutely.
And listen, when I say she committed to the role,
every year,
I mean she committed. The spins, the footworks, the 8 counts, the performances, everything. Yes.
That was my boo.
Rest in peace. Michael, for real. I love you, MJ. R.I.P. Now, before we get into the conversation, I always want people to meet the person behind all the titles, because I could sit here all day long and tell everybody who you are, but I want them to hear from you. So, Michelle, introduce yourself, tell everybody who you are, what life looks like in this season, and what's keeping you busy these days.
Who am I? Who am I? Oh, man. I'm a woman of God first. I'm going to start there because I think there's so many ways to describe yourself, and I can describe the professional, I can describe the mama, I can describe the person, but I think that all comes back to just being a woman of God. Like you said in the intro, I'm a mom of 3 boys. I'm a social worker, like true and through. Right now in this season of my life, I'm also in academic administration. So I'm a leader in very elite like spaces, I guess you could say. I'm a business owner, small business owner. And I'm just an ambitious person. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, you are. You always been that way. But that's exactly why I want you on this couch today. Because, again, people hear things like director, entrepreneur, leader, social worker, wife, mama. But they don't always see the woman carrying all those roles at the same time, you know? And trust me, we're going to get into all of that. But first, again, before we get deep.
Oh, you make me nervous. What?
Let's get petty.
Let's do it.
All right, Michelle Fool.
Yes, Alicia.
You know the rules. 3 unserious questions. No overthinking, just vibes. You ready?
Oh, no overthinking. No overthinking.
No
All right, got it.
Michelle.
Okay, bet.
Take your therapist hat off.
Ready. I'm ready. Okay.
So y'all know about Detroit jitting, right? Yeah. It used to be a whole thing in the dance world. And let's be honest, not a lot of women could really jit. But Michelle, she could jit. So Michelle, let's be honest. If somebody drops some old school dance Detroit music right now, you still got it, or are we stretching first and then calling the chiropractor after?
So here's the thing. Here's the gag.
Okay.
I actually don't know how to like full blown jit. I know 6 moves that I just do on repeat.
Oh well, good enough. Good enough for me. Better
that
than
was
me.
it. Because all the other moves, I was like, yeah, I don't look right doing that. I look right doing this. So I'm gonna just do that on repeat. Because you know,
it look good.
You know, it worked. It did. You said what song?
No, I say, could you do it right now, or will you be like, nah, I ain't got it in me right now.
I feel like I can do it right now, and if it's my time, it's my time.
Period.
Because we're getting older now, boo.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Next question.
You left Detroit for Minnesota.
Yeah.
So I want to know, every time you come back home, what's the first place you want to eat at? And what are you ordering?
Oh, it changes. But I would definitely say the Coney Island.
Yeah.
D1.
D1?
Yes. Like
the one on Woodward?
Yes, the one on Woodward down the street from our high school. Faithfully. Because the food in Minnesota is just different. It's good, but it's just different.
Yeah.
Or Bucharest.
Ooh. That's about.
And if the money is right, Pegasus.
Yeah.
You know, like a little lamb chop.
Yeah. Okay. So what you ordering?
Okay, from D1, it depends on the mood. So if I just want something simple, I'm doing wing ding dinner with some chili cheese fries.
Wait, squeezed cheese or sliced?
That also depends on the mood. I'm not gonna lie. Most times it's squeezed cheese. I ain't gonna lie. I like squeezed cheese. It is nasty, but that's why I say it depends on the mood.
That's true.
Because when you just want some feel good food and you don't care about calorie count or whatever else the responsible things are, it's just like, just give me my food. That or a D1 pita.
Okay. Okay. What's that? The one with bacon
chicken,
and
the whole works.
Yeah.
All of it.
And onions and peppers. Okay. I remember. Okay. Now the last question.
Oh my God.
Now Michelle, without telling all our business. Back in our outside years, we spent a little time at a place called Mozambique.
Did we though?
And for the people listening, let's just say it was a legendary Detroit spot.
Yes.
That no longer exists. Okay, that's all we gonna say. So my question is, what's the funniest memory you have from our Mozambique days that you're willing to share on this podcast? And keep it church. Keep it church.
So I remember my very first time going there. I was like, why are we wearing the same articles of clothing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I was like, I'm wearing that too, but I have stuff over that. Why you got that on?
No, for real.
But then it became a thing. It was just like, oh, that's the costume.
That's normal now.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
But that's the first thing that caught me off guard. It's like, we got some similarities that we probably shouldn't have right now. Do you? You look great.
Okay. All right.
That is funny. So funny.
Okay, so now that we handled the important business, now let's get serious. You ready?
Yes.
One thing I've always admired about you is that people see all these accomplishments. You are very you are very accomplished. You always have been. From high school to now, we see the Michelle walking around with that fast walk, with that something important to do and that holding that bag. It's some important people to see. Yeah. But again, they don't always see everything you're carrying behind the scenes. And I get to see all of the layers, right? So let's kind of talk about motherhood first. Let's start there.
Yeah.
You're raising 3 boys.
3 beautiful boys.
And 2 are on the spectrum. And then the middle child, my baby Titan, he's not, okay? What is something you wish people understood about children with autism? Let's start there.
We're going to dive right in.
Yeah.
I think that I wish people understood that their diagnosis doesn't, it's not a crutch. It's not something to just bask them in sympathy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not something that you shy away from. You have to embrace it. You have to understand like how it makes them different, how they see their world different, how they interact different, how they understand and all that kind of stuff differently. But they're still a child. They still, you still get redirected. It doesn't matter if you have autism or not. And we redirect you because we love you. And we have this thing in our parenting where we say we're not failing our kids. Like, we don't care that you have autism. We're gonna raise you still.
Yeah.
And we're gonna raise you to know not necessarily just right and wrong, but like all the things. And it doesn't matter that you're autistic. Like, it matters to us as a feature and as a characteristic, but it's not their whole identity. So I wish that people knew that it's not a crutch.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. I think people need to hear that more because they do see it as a crutch. So I appreciate you saying that. Okay, so what about all 3 of your boys taught you about patience? Like, just overall patience.
Each child has taught me a different angle of patience. My oldest, I think my oldest kind of taught me, so Titus taught me the angle of patience to really understand what's going on for someone else. Like, when it's your child, you kind of think like, oh, not that you know what's best, but you know what's best.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean by that. And with him, it wasn't always that I knew what was best. It was, I want to do what's best. And I had to figure out where that gap was with wanting to do what's best for him and seeing where he was, not even just like in his diagnosis, but even before his diagnosis, because Titus he still is to this day a very strong individual. Like, Titus is just Titus. He's not like autism or not. You can't just throw him in a group and think that he's gonna blend. Yeah. Like, he's always going to be a standout individual. So I would say Titus taught me that. Titan, my middle baby, he taught me the patience of not knowing what to expect. Because
no, for real.
Like, maybe because of the stuff that he says. Because like right now he's 9, but there are things that when he was 8 he would say, and I'm just like, wow, I didn't think I was gonna have to talk to you about this right now. And it wouldn't be like this really like bad topic. It would just be like this really philosophical life question, and I'm just like,
mature.
Yes. And I'm like, oh, we're going there now, and you're 8. Let's do it. So that taught me a lot of patience, because I still don't want him to, I don't want him to shrink just because of his age, but I also don't want him to shrink because he's the only neurotypical child. I don't want him to grow up and have the story of, well, my brothers were autistic, so I had to be the third parent. Like, we do a lot to make sure that he is, like, we have a phrase, we'll say, like, when he's starting to step into our lane, we'll say, just be a brother right now. That's all you got to do. You don't have to guide. You don't have to redirect. Be a brother. And I think that taught us like a level of patience of like, well, we have to be very cautious. And he's the middle baby. Yeah. And, middle babies. Middle child syndrome. Yeah. Like, they tend to feel, like, not to generalize him, but they tend to feel overlooked. So we don't want that for him. We want him to have his own, because we're doing so much for our oldest and our youngest. We want him to also have his layer of own, like, childhood, so to speak. Now, Tobias.
Whole different level of patience.
I don't even know.
It's my god baby, by the way.
Yo, godchild. I don't even know how to describe, because I don't even know that I've even developed it yet. Because I feel like it's like with Tobias, he is wonderful in so many ways, but it's like you finally feel like you got a grasp of like, okay, I can manage this.
He'd be like, "Side,"
and he'd be like, "Turn!" Like, I'm running away right now, and you gotta catch me real fast. Get up. So I'm still learning what level of patience is required in this season of mothering him right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for the most part with him, my patience really has just been like understanding that his autism shows up very differently than my oldest.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the baby.
Mm-hmm.
He's our finale.
Mm-hmm.
So he got his own little razzle.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I get that.
Mm-hmm.
So what has raising them taught you about yourself?
That I need to love myself in order to love them. I need to care for me, like not be selfish, but be focused on making sure that people receive my overflow and not what's in my cup that's for me. And I think that's always been like a hard thing because it's just like, oh, I'll give you the shirt off my back.
Yeah.
And then I'll be walking around shirtless like, hey, I gave my shirt to somebody else and I'm good. And it's like,
but you're cold.
But right.
Yeah.
Freezing. Like all that kind of stuff. So parenting them specifically has taught me that I need to love myself and not like in a egotistical way or a prideful way or fleshly way. Like really like love myself, who I am, what I want. It's okay to change my mind. It's okay to be. It's okay to be all these things. Yeah.
Yeah, that's real good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so was there a moment when you realized your motherhood journey might look a little different than what you imagined it would be?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I would actually say the day Titus was born. So prior to, like, I was very big on like holistic living. Mm-hmm. I was a yoga teacher. Before I became a social worker, so I was a yoga teacher. Barely took medicine. I think at one point I went vegan. So there were just a lot of things that I just refrained from. Mm-hmm. Went thinking I was gonna have a natural delivery, and they were like, "We want you to leave here with what you thought you were going to leave with, so we need to do C-section right now."
Yeah.
So that moment changed everything because I went from almost never even taking Tylenol for a headache to now having to take really hard like medicine to recover from the incision, to do all that kind of stuff. So I would say that is kind of like the first moment where I was like, oh, this is not going to be what I thought it was going to be, because we didn't even look into C-sections. It was just like, nope, I'm going to have a vaginal delivery. I'm going to. And then God was like, well, about that.
Little turnsy.
A little turnsy.
Yeah.
But then when Titus started to struggle talking, like his speech delay really, it broke our hearts. Yeah. Because that was the first thing that we were like so happy to have like a baby, and to like, as he grew, like we really just wanted to talk to him. Yeah. Like have a conversation, like talk about silly things, like what colored toy are you playing with? And when his speech delay hit, that's when it was like, oh, this is going to be very, very different, because we have to figure out how to get to that point in his brain where we want to meet him at is actually possible. And that meant speech therapy, and that meant doing all these things. And then the autism diagnosis came, and then it got to a point where I was like, you know what? Like there were a lot of like really sad moments about his autism diagnosis for us that were really grief. Yeah. Because like I want to be able to talk to my son, and my son can't talk to me right now. Not because he doesn't want to, but because he just doesn't have that ability yet, because there's something going on. And at the time, we didn't know that it was autism. We just knew. First, we kind of thought that he was being funny because Titan was born. He was like, "Oh, y'all got another baby?"
Nah, I'm good. You talk to him.
Right. Right. And it was like, there are a couple of moments, but those would be the highlight ones for me right now that I can think of.
Yeah. What age did Tidy Whitey start? That's my baby. Yeah. Tidy Whitey start talking. It was 3 or 4? Now, when you say talking, I'm thinking of like fluent understanding. No. Just when you were able to communicate with him enough. About 4 or 5. Yeah. Okay. That's what I remember. Okay. Can you tell me what are some victories that people might overlook but feel super huge in your household? Like from the autism lens, or just in general? The motherhood lens. And it probably looks for you, the autism side?
We have a lot of wins.
Mm-hmm.
We like to celebrate. We celebrate a lot. I mean, that's kind of hard to say. From the autism perspective, we celebrate when our kids kind of get that next little layer of opening for them, where they're like, oh, they finally figured out how to like maybe communicate a particular way, and now they're not as frustrated internally, because that's really what goes on a lot, like the symptoms and the stimming and things like that, really, because the communication is there's a blockage there.
Yeah.
So we celebrate a lot with communication wins. Like if Tobias starts saying something new, like right now his phrase right now is "Thank you, mommy," and it's like that right there is like sounds simple, but it's so big. I love that.
Yeah.
Or when you start to notice, like he's a genius. Yeah. Like that's what we'll say, because he has like a communication device, and he'll be like, "Feed me now, feed me now," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm on to you. Okay, got it.
Love it.
No, but we celebrate a lot.
Good, love it. Okay, so we're gonna do a shift, big shift. Okay, so another part of your story that always stays with me, and I'm obviously you, is losing both of your parents at a super young age. And I know that kind of grief doesn't just disappear. So I want you to tell what you want to tell about that. Just tell us a little bit about it. And how has that loss kind of shaped who you are today?
Ooh, yeah. So, for the people listening, I was 8 years old when my mother passed away. She passed away of stage 4 breast cancer that advanced to, I think, bone cancer. And this was back in the 90s. So she passed in 1999, long before breast cancer research was where it is now. But she had a reaction in her body that led to sepsis. So that's what ultimately ended her life. And I was 8 at the time. My father was a Motown drummer, Pistol Allen, who... My mother died in 99. He was diagnosed with lung cancer in January of 2000. So it was kind of like one big life shift, next big life shake up. You know what I mean? And then his battle was a little longer. He was able to finish recording the movie Standing in the Shadows of Motown. And then he ultimately passed right as it was released in June of 2002. So I was 11 when he passed away. And I think there's so much to say about that kind of grief. Like when your guides, the people who are supposed to like get you to a certain point before handing you over into adulthood, are like not there for whatever reason, death or just absence in general, it makes you question a lot. It makes you look at the world and see how big it is so soon. Like, when you're a parent, you kind of cover your children, so you cover them from the world. So the world for them feels like safe, secure, smaller, connected, or whatever, all those things. And then when you lose your parents, it's kind of like, this world is massively huge, and the people who are supposed to be here to cover me are not, so I'm kind of on my own. And I would say that shaped a lot. It shaped a lot of moments, like moving into college, seeing my colleagues coming in with their mom and their dad, and I'm moving in by myself. Actually, no. When I moved into college, I moved in with the help of someone that I met at a nightclub.
Wow, I never did that.
Yeah, like okay. It was a divine intervention where we were just going out and having fun, and we were talking as a group with people I was with, people that they were with, and I'm like, yeah, I'm getting ready to move into college, and they're like, oh, that's your family, so must be so happy, and I'm like, no, it's just me, and they're like, what? No, we're gonna move you in. Aww. So it was that kind of vibe. Yeah. So moments like that where it's not like this grand thing that changes, it's really like the small moments. And like when we got married, having to really like be intentional about who stepped in, who shared that load or that coverage for me. Those moments changed a lot of things too.
Yeah. And how do you think that specifically shaped your parenting style, like how you are as a parent?
I think that from speaking now from the perspective of being a little more healed, it shaped me in the way that I prepare my children to always know self-sufficiency, to always know how to take care of things, like age appropriately, obviously. But I could be gone tomorrow and my babies will still have to figure it out. But I don't want them to feel like if they had to figure it out that they couldn't. Because that was something that I'm still like learning to accept, that wow, where I'm at in my life, I probably shouldn't be here with what I've gone through and what I've lost. And I think it shifts me to make sure that my children are independent, that they're, you know, the phrase that we love our boys and we raise our daughters. No, I'm raising my sons, so that they know that they don't need to require dependence on somebody else in order to be self-sufficient and lead. So I think that was really born out of my experience of not having my parents.
Okay. Okay. Are there moments where your boys do something and you immediately wish your parents could see it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So my dad was a Motown drummer and my mother was a music therapist for children with special needs.
Of course.
And I'm just like, all right, God, come on now.
Okay.
Like you could have kept
you laying it on thick, God.
You know what I'm saying? Like, God, you could have kept her around for 11 more years. You could have gave me some more time. So absolutely. Like there are moments that like my oldest Titus is pitch what's it called? Pitch perfect. Yes, perfect pitch. That look is the exact look that I had when they said it to me. So we had him in piano lessons and Titan played guitar. And she was like, hey, did you know that Titus has perfect pitch?
Say more. What is that?
When she said it, I was just like, that means?
Sure.
And she's like, no, it means that so essentially he can match any tone, any pitch, like on a piano, like the note, whatever key it is, he can recognize it like just by hearing it.
Oh.
Like it's a very rare gift. And when she said it to me, and I was like, do we got to pay extra for that? Like, I don't know what that means.
What now?
Like, help. So there are moments like that where I'm just like, oh my God, my mother and my father would have had a ball with my kids, like teaching them that kind of stuff or doing those kind of things.
I see.
And my kids are starting to question it now and see differences in their friends at school and ask questions about them. And I think my parents will probably be also just as proud of them for the questions that they ask, because they ask some very like profound questions.
I mean, look who their parents are, but okay.
I mean, no,
Got you. Okay. So what is something your parents taught you that still kind of show up in your life today?
I believe my mother was an angel. Like she was just a beautiful like earth angel. So she taught us very early not to like just love somebody's differences, but like really celebrate how different people are from you. Like she really thought that was an asset. Like my mother would pray for world peace on her birthday. That was like our activity. Like as the clock strikes midnight on February 24th, we're praying for world peace. Like that kind of thing has always stuck with me. My father, he was very big on, but are you happy though? Like you doing all of this, are you happy with what you're doing? He wasn't the kind of father that felt that happiness wasn't a factor. Like, you know, you have your parents that are like strict on like, no, happiness, you can't make decisions based on if you're happy or not, because that changes from day to day. My father was like, yeah, that might change day to day, but
bring it back. How you bringing it back? I like that.
And the way that he died, like the way that he went out in the world, I think it was proof that my father had a choice. I think he talks about it in the movie where he could have gone to typewriting school if my father was a little older.
Typewriting. Got it.
In the world of AI, to hear typewriting school, it's like, ooh, what the kids say, he was born in the 1900s.
Oh my God.
So I think he described it in the movie as he had the choice to go to either typewriting school or become a drummer. And he chose to be a drummer, regardless of how hard that path was going to be, because it made him happy and it was his gift. So I think for him, that lesson stays with me that I'm still trying to like reinforce. Like, I'm on this mission, but am I happy?
Oh, that's good. I like that a lot. Okay. So now we're going to shift again.
Okay.
We're going to shift to you climbing the ladder. You've built an incredible career. You've led teams, managed peoples, built programs, and you climb professionally while raising your family and being in this marriage, right? What has that journey really looked like behind the scenes? So climbing the ladder professionally and raising and being in your family.
So I became a program director at an R1 institution at the age of 34. Mm-hmm. And I think at the time I didn't realize how unheard of that was. And I think there were pressures
on multiple layers.
Yes.
Like being a woman.
Yeah.
Being a Black woman.
Yes.
Okay.
Being not from the state.
Being younger. Being from Detroit, Michigan. Yeah. Okay. Detroit. Okay.
There were a lot of layers that I just didn't know were contributing to my experience. And there still are. I think that I came in, when I became a social worker, I wanted to be where the people were. Like, it wasn't about community organizing. It was about, I want to find the people that feel like they don't belong on this earth, and I want to work with them. And I want them to know how gifted they are. I want them to see, because I have a philosophy that we all have the answers to our problems within us. We just have to be willing to sit with it, breathe, and work on equanimity to have those answers revealed.
That's good.
So for me, when I became a social worker, I wanted people, especially those who had like mental health battles, I wanted them to see the other side of acceptance that they probably did not always experience while battling a mental health issue or diagnosis. So I started off in that perspective, that I just wanted people to feel like they belonged. And from there, it grew into, well, who is my client? Because it was no longer just a direct client. It was, okay, now I'm leading a team, or now I'm managing, I'm supervising a whole caseload of case managers that are providing these clinical services. So then it was like, well, yes, my clients are the people in the community, but now my client, it really is my team. So let me make sure that my team, the same skills that I would use with a direct one-on-one client, let me make sure that those skills parallel over so that my team is empowered in the best way possible. Yeah. Like, from accountability to access to resources to difficult conversations or courageous conversations, all of those things. Let me make sure that I'm always focused on who my client is. So now, as a director in academia, I'm very clear, like, I don't necessarily think I want a PhD. And I don't think that a PhD will allow me to thrive in this environment the way that means the most to me, because I'm about my students. Yeah. I want my students to come into our program and say, I got the best experience possible. Now I feel equipped to go on to the world and actually go into my career, and not feel like, oh, I missed something in my degree, or I didn't get what I needed. Like that, they're my clients now. So having to balance the bigger picture, but still stay grounded in why I became a social worker has always been a challenge, because I have to constantly reassess and come back to the table. Like, okay, maybe I wasn't looking at this right, or maybe I didn't balance the scales right on making this decision. So let me roll that back. It's a lot of decision fatigue that comes with this environment.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now, do you think women, especially Black women, are expected to carry success quietly?
Yeah, I do. I think that success can be operationalized in so many ways. It's not just about the final deliverable. It's not just about this fancy project and how it ends. I think success is really customary to every woman, because some women need the success of setting the boundary and saying, no, I'm going to go home and rest. You're not going to work me until 10 p.m. today or 12 a.m. Like, it depends on what success is determined by or defined by that individual woman. But yes, I think that especially Black women, we are asked to be quiet about our wins. We are asked to be humble. We are asked to, take whatever is being put on our plate and do it with grace and with a smile. And even if that isn't always like directly asked of us, it's reinforced when we step outside of that norm, so to speak. And then it's kind of like, whoa, you're not humble right now. Let me fix this for you. Let me not humble you, but let me put you back in line where you need to be. So even if it's not like directly said, like, oh, you need to not be humble, or you need to be humble about what you're doing, or your success needs to be quiet. Even if that's not directly said to you, it's reinforced by the way that when we step outside of that capitalistic weight that's on our shoulder to perform and produce and give and give and give, it's like, wait, why aren't you're the director, or you're an administrator, or you're a leader. Why aren't you covering all of this emotional or physical tax or whatever it is that the job is requiring you? Why aren't you doing that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think in many ways it depends on what success is to that individual woman. But I do think we are asked to kind of pipe it down a little too much.
Like, we're supposed to be strong without ever admitting when something is heavy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what sacrifices came with your success that people don't often talk about?
Needing to keep your identity and your job separate. Because I think for a while it felt really good. I'm a director. That feels good to the ego. It feels good and prideful because it's just like I've arrived. You know, when I remember when I first started this role, I was like, I really could be here for the rest of my life. Because not that I have arrived and there aren't other opportunities out there, but I'm like, I finally got the job that I prayed for this. I really wanted this, and I really wanted to do good with it. And I want our students to come into our program and say, I'm so happy I went here. And then it gets to a point where it's like, oh, there's this mental cost to doing that, where you still, it doesn't matter what the fires are behind, you know, going on in the back scene. You still have to show up to the next new person.
Yeah.
And hold all of this historical knowledge of what's kind of blowing up in the background. And, you know, this last year we had Metro Surge happen where ICE was invading our backyard. And we had, as leadership, we had to come up with a solution that felt right from a social work perspective. And that kind of meant stepping against the grain and saying, we don't get to determine everybody's safety, so we will allow certain classes to remain remote or have that accommodation because we don't want our students being caught up in that, basically.
Right.
That weight of a decision, you don't really go into leadership thinking that those are the problems you're going to solve. You think, oh, I'm a director in an academic program. I'm about to make sure that this curriculum is rigorous. Or I'm about to make sure that, you know, our faculty are really engaged with our students, that our students like build these meaningful and long-lasting career relationships. Because like for me, I went to Michigan for my MSW, and to this day, people at Michigan carry me more in my professional life now than in my own like ecosystem of where I'm at. And that's not like a shade, but it's just I want our students to go off and be like, I'm so happy that I went to this program. So those are the problems that I was ready to solve. I wasn't quite ready to solve for some of the like random. Like
that portion of life alterations, like sheesh.
And you have, you know, it's in social work, we talk about a lot of topics or a lot of things that might be hard for people to agree on. So trying to solve the balance while not, you know, infringing on someone's rights, but also being very clear, like socially just is where we stand, and holding all of that to make the right decision, and ultimately realizing that there isn't really a perfect decision. You do what you have. You do with what you have. And then when you have something different, then you can go back to the drawing board and say, you know what, we might need to roll back this decision and go a different route and things like that. So a lot of decisions.
A lot of sacrifices. Okay, so how do you suggest people protect themselves from burnout?
I suggest that when they figure it out, come back and tell me. Because so the research shows that an average lifespan of a social worker before they hit burnout is around 5 to 7 years. And that's like the sweet spot generally, and that's where I'm at. Burnout isn't really something that you just wake up one day and be like, oh, I'm burnt out because it's one event. It's usually like this invisible accumulation of stuff. Like if it's a hurtful interaction with a colleague, or if it's an unrealistic workload, or if it's, you know, you still have your own professional development to do, but you don't really have the advantage of time to do that because you're busy being thrown in the enmeshment of everything else that's going on. My best thing would be to say, if it happens, learn from it. Because I think it's easy to put out all these tactics of what we're going to do to prevent burnout. Like, I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to get 8 hours of sleep. I'm going to journal. I'm going to call someone I love. I'm going to listen to some music that makes me feel good. Or I'm going to watch a movie that gives me, warm, bubbly feelings inside. Or I'm going to do those things that make me like content, happy, and calm. But really,
like, it sounds good.
Right. And you can be practicing all those things, but what you're practicing might not necessarily be matched with what is stressing you. Right. So you can go for a walk, but that still ain't going to fix the fact that you got students that their safety is in jeopardy. So you can go for a walk, but you're going to come right back to that same problem.
Now we're back where we started.
Yeah. And then if you don't really have a good tool set or skill set to manage that burnout, it will also feel like you're coming back to more work because you walked away to take care of yourself. And it's like, oh crap, now I got to do all of this. Yeah. So I would say recognize it as an accumulation, not just this like defined moment of like, oh, I'm burnt out because this Monday. No, you're burnt out because over the last 6 to 10 months, you've been doing this, and not doing that, or the boundaries that you set allow for some of the high density stress to come in. And when it becomes,
or the boundaries you didn't set.
Hello. Because chronic stress is really where that burnout, like chronic stress and burnout are best friends. It's not about, I can't be stressed, because stress is actually very good for you.
Yeah.
Because it refines your skills. It refines your ability. You get stronger by managing it better. But chronic stress is where your body starts to say like, hey, I got about 6 to 10 months before I start breaking down on you. Oh, you going to ignore me? Bet. We're going to the hospital now. Bet. You can't even open your laptop and answer one email because your whole system is just like activated.
Because you wasn't listening.
Right. And your body will start to talk to you, and the more you work against it, the more you just say, I know it's not healthy to work until 10 p.m., but I got so much to get done and these people are waiting on me, so let me just go ahead and do that. Your body is going to start keeping score of that. And eventually it's going to be like, bet, I ain't getting up. And not because you don't have the physical strength, but because you don't have the wherewithal to say, I got it. So I would say if you're burning out, learn from it, listen to it, allow it to talk to you. Like when I say it, I'm referring to your body, your mind, your heart. Where is the stress felt the most? Is it felt in the chest? Is it felt in the belly? Is it felt in the mind? Are you clenching your jaw when you sleep? Are your shoulders up to your ears? Start to notice how your body is starting to react to carrying that chronic stress. And that awareness gently starts to open this door of release it. Let it go. Set it down. That fire ain't that big. Your urgency, your problem is not my urgency. Your failing to plan is not let me restructure my whole day. And as helpers, especially as helpers that really understand and get it and empathize. It's like, oh, you didn't do your planning, so let me hurry up and help you a little bit more and let me do more. No, sometimes it's, I'm sorry that was the case and I don't have the capacity at this time.
Yeah. Have you ever read The Courage to Be Disliked? Oh, it's a great book. But that's one of the pieces in the book is like focusing on your task and letting other people focus on their task. Because they might not like it, but we all got our own separate tasks. And that helps us keep our stress levels down, essentially.
I need to put that one on my...
It's a good book. Please put it on your TBR. Please. The Courage to Be Disliked. I forgot who it's by, but it's a great book.
Okay.
I'll send it to you.
Yes.
Okay. So, one thing I also think is very beautiful is that we've managed to stay friends through so many different seasons. Marriage, kids, moves, careers, life, right? What have you learned about maintaining friendships as we've gotten older?
What's the cliche phrase? If they wanted to, they would. There isn't anything in my mind that ever made us say we didn't want to. And I think if we really didn't want to, then we wouldn't. Right? I think when you love somebody and when they love you back, you know that regardless of how far you are physically, that's just an obstacle. And if you're committed to loving that person, if you're committed to being, community and relationship with that person, then that distance is kind of like just a factor.
Yeah.
That we just have to manage together. And I think different seasons, sometimes that just requires a higher level of empathy, or just a different, and I'm not going to say higher because I'm trying to get away from the language of like do more, as opposed to like widening the scope of saying do different. You know what I mean? So I think that in different seasons of our lives and our friendship, it has been, what can I do realistically from Minnesota that still feels like my presence is still here? And what can you do from Detroit that makes you feel like your presence is still in Minnesota? And half of the time, we're both in the same cycle of motherhood that it's just like, talking on the phone is so hard.
So hard.
And it's like...
And I appreciate my friends understanding that. Because like, don't call me. I'm already stressed. I don't want to yell at them and then try to yell at you because I'm trying to yell over them. Just thank you.
Like... And it's like, and if I get added to one more group chat,
no, for real.
And it's like, I love the people. I love all of the group chat. The people that's in all of these 50 billion group chats I'm in, between Delta, between my sorority, between my job, between everything. And I'm just like, what's that SpongeBob meme where he's just like, because my phone just
all day.
And I'm like,
I'm so sorry. Majority of them on D&D. I check them when I can.
Right, but then now they make the feature, if they do the @ with your name in it, it sends you the ping.
Yeah,
and I'm like, can I talk to you on next year? Like, no. Not because I don't want to talk to you now, but because I literally just had to manage a stemming meltdown from an autistic child, and I'm trying to negotiate with this very, very mature 8-year-old, 9-year-old now, and do all of these things. And then it's like, okay, let me go back to my phone, resettle, get my nervous system back focused. What was I doing? Who was I talking to?
Listen.
I have and this is so embarrassing, and I'm working on it. I have so many messages in my phone that I've typed and did not press in.
Me too.
Because it's like...
Still, to this day?
Oh, to you still
ain't pressed in?
Still to this day. And not on purpose. I just don't know which ones are the ones that I didn't press in, because I would type it
and then do something else.
Get distracted with my kids.
Yep.
Put my phone down, and maybe the phone dies. I don't know. I finally got my baby settled, and now I'll come back and be like, I'm hungry. Like, and then come back to my phone and be like, oh right, I was looking up this recipe. Completely forgot that I was in the middle of messaging somebody. And I'm like, I feel so much guilt when I come back to the message and be like, oh
yeah,
I thought you were ignoring me.
Yeah.
Like, no, I just didn't press in.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so with that being said, what do you think makes friendships survive when life gets super busy? Because I think we all in that busy life season right now. And we can literally go a couple weeks without talking, a few days without talking. We send a check-in message a couple times a month, and we still back like we never left. So what do you think make these friendships survive?
Strongly developed communication abilities and mutual expectations. Like, it doesn't have to be the same level of urgency and attention every time.
Yeah.
Because I think that especially after the friendship has like allowed to grow for so long, you kind of just know. And if you don't know, and you might start to like wonder and know like, oh my gosh, we're not close as much as we used to be, or things like that, ask.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's a communication skill. Like, ask. Like, hey, I haven't really heard from you.
Everything okay?
Everything okay?
Yeah.
And don't go right into it like, oh, you don't mess with me no more. Like, I probably don't even know who I am today. Like, what year is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. So I think
it's not you, it's me, I promise.
Like, and then it's always beautiful when we get on the phone. It's like, all right, the kids are gone or napping, and you done did everything you need to do around the house. I did everything I need to do, and it's just like, oh, I ain't talked to you in a couple of months, girl. But
oh yeah, hey, let me tell you, update, life update.
It's like we don't miss a beat.
Yeah.
That, I think, I don't even know what that skill is.
Yeah.
Maybe it's grace, understanding.
Yeah,
maybe
definitely grace,
empathy,
and understanding.
Maybe
definitely empathy, and it probably has a lot to do with us going through something similar at some point of or time of our lives, right? So relatability and empathy. Yeah. Okay.
And I think if you have like a friendship that has a different, like, let's say you're friends with someone who isn't a parent or a caregiver, that their lifestyle is just a little bit different. You might just need to use different communication skills to make sure that, like, hey, I don't want you interpreting, my lack of pressing send as like something against you. Like, I'm just balancing a lot. Yeah. And then, hey, this made me feel blank. Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't want you to feel that way. So I'll do more of this, or, you know what I mean? Like, the communication ability has to be there for the things to be named as well.
Yeah. On both ends. Yeah. Right. Like, hey, I promise I'm not trying to be a terrible friend. I'm just going through a lot of things right now.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we're going to shift again. Okay. When your boys talk about you 20 years from now, what do you hope they say? What do you hope they remember most?
My embrace. I hope that they remember how, not necessarily like how much I've given up for them, but I hope they remember how much I wanted to be a mom, as it was evidenced by what I did for them. You know what I mean? Like, I've always wanted to be a mom. Like, especially after losing my parents, I've always wanted to have a family again. Like, a family, like a fun family, an active family, one that laughs till the sun goes down kind of family. I mean, all of that. I want my kids, because they'll be in their 20s and 30s.
Jesus Christ.
Woo!
We was just talking about that. Ralph asked Zachary, like, do you know how old we'll be when you're 20? I'm like, sir, you didn't even have to say that.
Like, I'm still in the mindset that a few years ago was 2007. And that was 20 years ago. Like,
Jesus.
All right. Okay. But in 20 years, I would want them to just remember how much I wanted to be their mom. Yeah. Like, I wanted to be with them every step of the way. I wanted them to never have a gap. Like, still have learning curves, because you got to grow up and live your own life. Like, every year we call it on their birthday that we give them more responsibility, like, until they become 18, so that they can fully manage their lives. Yeah. In 20 years, I want them to look at me and say, my mom really wanted to be a mom, and she gave everything into being a mom. Like, she made sure I had good processing ability, good discipline, good faith, good belief in people, good belief in myself, that I became a good human. Like, that's a big one for me. I don't want my children to grow up and be bad humans. Yeah. And I don't even think that's a real thing. Everybody makes decisions. I always tell my kids, be a good person. Yeah. Like, no matter what, be a good person. And that they get to define what that is. But I hope that in 20 years, they look back and say, my mom gave me everything in her toolbox so that I can have the biggest toolbox. That my toolbox is bigger than hers. Like, that's some of the things that I hope they say.
Love it. Okay, so we're about to wrap up soon. But before every guest leaves this couch, I ask the same question. What legacy are you building right now, even if nobody else sees it?
That is a great question. You might have to trim some seconds off on this one, because, baby, I got to think. What legacy do I hope that I'm leaving if no one else sees it? Okay, I have one. I hope that the legacy that I leave is that no matter what happens to you, no matter how much you lose, you don't have to absorb that into your spirit. You can lose everything. You can lose your mom. I lost my mother, my father, my sister, my brother, my god sister. Like, the list can keep going. But I don't absorb that into my spirit to become bitter about it or be mean because of it. I might need to refine that a little bit more, but I would think that would be the legacy that I want to leave. That I could have been really mean. Yeah. I could have been really nasty or whatever. Like, it just wasn't of my heart or my character to do that. I always wanted to be happy, be free, be outgoing, be encouraging, be uplifting. Like, I wanted to always be that, regardless of what I lost and what I didn't have. And I think that's the legacy that I'm still working on. that regardless of what I'm carrying and what I'm going through, I'm always going to be me, and I'm always going to be there for my friends. Yeah. I'm always going to hold them down. I'm always going to come in with a POP, hold it down. Like, I'm always going to come in with love and the ability to like see people, not just what's on the surface, like see them for who they are, the way that they really desire to be seen.
I love that. I love that. And I definitely agree, because you have literally been through so much, yet and still you are so amazing. Like, you are so selfless. And even people who haven't gone through what you've gone through can't even compare on that level. So I appreciate that. I love that. Okay, so Michelle,
yes,
I want to thank you as always, because you always on this couch. We're not gonna act like you're not.
Always.
I thank you for being on this couch with me today, not just as my friend, but as a reminder that strength doesn't always look loud. Sometimes strength looks like showing up again and again and again, even when life gets heavy, right?
Thank you for following your gift.
Oh, thank you.
I'm proud of you. I'm just proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
And I always will be. I love you too.
Okay, so I need you to tell the people where they can find you, are your social handles, and a little bit about your business. So, again, that you can help the people.
Yeah, absolutely. So business-wise, you can find me at thehumanitycollection.com. If you prefer to email to inquire about services, I provide organizational consulting, yoga and meditation services, as well as individual or group clinical therapy, as well as supervision for those students that are going towards independent licensure. You can email me at grow@thehumanitycollection.com. You can find me on LinkedIn at Michelle C. Madison, LICSW, LMSW, RYT. On Instagram, I am currently deactivated, but I will be reactivating soon. You can find me at mchristii, so MCHRISTII.
Period. All right. Make sure y'all reach out, go follow her, and reach out for some help, because y'all need it.
I need it. I got you. Oh, if you need it, I got you.
If there's one thing I hope people take away from today's conversation, it's that carrying a lot doesn't mean you have to carry it alone. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Mompreneur Unmuted. And next Tuesday, we're continuing the conversation from my living room couch in Detroit. Until next Tuesday, give yourself some grace and go build something that outlives you.